Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. Jacques. What's up, folks? Hello. What is going on? Hello to you Titan fans. Great win against the Indianapolis Colts, 25-16. Jacques and I both were at the game. Enjoyed ourselves. It was hot outside, but we enjoyed ourselves, man, watching the game. I brought my whole family, wife and children, bro. They enjoyed themselves and things, man. Bro, it was a great atmosphere, Jacques.
Yep. Victory Monday, man. It was fun. Salute to Titan Upload, Titan Rossi, and Titan Time, man. Hey, it was nice meeting you fellas in person. It was definitely an honor. So we definitely, man, if y'all down here again, we got to link up somehow. But it was salute to you guys for meeting you guys, man. That was a pretty cool experience, man.
That's good stuff, man. I wanted to see you guys, man. I got there right at that time, and my kids wanted to run the 40-yard dash. It was right in front of the pro shop, and did a few other things that the kids were doing. And then right as it got done, I was like, oh, man, I missed them or whatever. But it's all good. I will definitely see you all. No question about that.
Definitely.
So, yeah, man.
And meeting some of the fans, too, man. It was pretty dope, too. So, definitely. Like you said, man, was out there in that heat. Yep. Nice crowd again. The Titans fans came out in droves, man. That's right. And it was amazing to see it, man, for this W. And, hey, we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to definitely talk about it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So Jacques, man, we come away with the victory now, bro. We are 2-1, 1-0 in the AFC South, beating our rival. You know, at one point in time, we could never beat the Indianapolis Colts. They were like 16-3 against us in 19 games, bro. Now, lately, we've been catching up to them. And so I'm very proud of us, you know, beating the Colts. I know they had injuries and blah, 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 whatever. We do too. So it is what it is, right? You got to play. You got to play the game. And that's what we did. So very proud of the Titans and what they did. So in this game, Jacques, man, you know, tell me about some of the positives that you saw from the Tennessee Titans for this game against the Colts.
Okay, so one positive is defense. Let's talk about defense, man.
Talk about it, Jacques. Talk about it, bro.
Man. I like what I'm seeing from the defense. They took that momentum that we had in the second half of that game when we played the Seahawks, and they carried it over into this game. The pressure that we're getting off of my front four is amazing. We haven't had
no paper, sir.
Hey, we haven't had that since I'm not exaggerating, guys. I would say Arakpo and Derek Morgan, which it was there, but to see a front four do it, Albert Hainsworth, Vanden Bosch, that 2008 squad is almost comparing to this, man. To see just them to get pressure on Carson Wentz, to get pressure on Russell Wilson, but definitely get pressure on Carson Wentz, who had 2 bum ankles and was out there trying to play a game and trying to be efficient. And it was just amazing to see. And then we did it without Bud Dupree. You had Oli Daney that came in. You had Harold Landry, who I think had 12 pressures. Some of the third highest player to ever do that, which was dope. You know what I mean? A Big Jeff doing his thing. Nico Archer's doing his thing. Pretty solid, man. Linebackers played pretty good. David Long, man, he played like a madman, just an animal. And then Jack Rabbit doing his thing, but Christian Fulton. People, this is the 3rd straight game, dog.
Yep.
Well, this kid is emerging to be, man, one of the top corners in the league, man. And I'm not trying to shoot the gap real quick, but it's just he's being consistent. And I don't see why Pro Football Focus ain't on their radar yet, because I've seen other corners on there, but I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? He done a phenomenal job, man, boggling up Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal. So, man, salute to them. Let's out to the offensive side of the balls. That was some positive on the offensive side of the balls. Tannehill, we see he still has he's getting continuity with Julio. Him and Julio was on a roll there for a minute until, you know, Julio was ultimately taking out the game. But Tannehill, man, was able to do it and spread the ball around and run the ball and do what Tannehill does. Yeah, he made some mistakes, but still, we'll get to that in a minute. But Tannehill was another positive. Derrick Henry, the king. Let me say this. Calm down, King. Okay, calm down, bro.
Calm down, King.
All right. Calm down, King. # calm down. Because, my brother, we're going to need you later on in the season, okay?
Yeah.
This Joker is he's not human, bro. He's not human. 113 yards. I think a touchdown. What he had, I don't know how many catches he had. I think he had
3 catches.
3 catches, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Still, King is doing something we ain't seen King do a long time. I bet the league is looking at him like, now, okay, now we know this Joker can run, but now he can catch. where this come from? Is he Christian McCaffrey out there? What's going on?
Yep.
So, hey, and then they calling him NWI, okay? Not NWA, NWI. Doing his thing. So those are some of the positives that I came from this game. And I'm going to give one more positive. We got a 12th man. And the 12th man is the Titan faithful coming out in droves. Out in droves, making some noise, man.
That's right.
The crowd, man, for the second home game was probably louder this game than last game. I was trying to talk to my partner. And shout out to Mike. He's on Talking with the Homies. Shout out to you, Mike. I'm sitting there trying to talk to him, and I can barely hear him. I can barely just hear anything he's saying. So if I know I couldn't hear, I just imagine what the Colts was going through. So to see that stadium rocking like that, that's a huge positive. We're outnumbering the opponent's fans. Usually when I go to those type of games, Colts fans are in that thing in droves, okay? Yep. In droves. They outnumber. We bought the heat, and we got to keep bringing that. So that's for me. What about you, Hawk?
So I would add to this, Jacques, and those are great points that you've given here. You know, I talked about in the pregame a hashtag. It was called Just Block, right? That's all you have to do. Just block. The Indianapolis Colts have a good front four. They do. Okay, you got Muhammad, you got DeForest Buckner, you got Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye ended up getting hurt or something. I think he left the game early.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Darius Leonard at a linebacker spot. So they got their front seven is pretty stout. I ain't gonna lie. The Colts, they're pretty good. I felt the Tennessee Titans blocked very well. You know, when you look at the game itself, I want to say the Colts might have had, I know they had one sack, no question, on Tannehill, but I don't think there was any other sacks that they had. No, I think that was the only sack. Only sack. And then, you know, Ryan Tannehill getting his jersey dirt is from him running, not from him getting hit throwing the ball. So Taylor Lewan stepped up. Taylor Lewan had a good game, folks, okay? Muhammad, DeForest Buckner, they all tried. Taylor Lewan blocked him very well. He had a very consistent game, and that's what we need to see, as well as opening lanes for Derrick Henry. As the game kept going on, Derrick continued to eat to a point where Indianapolis had a safety that had 11 tackles, and that was Blackman, okay? He had 11 tackles at safety. So that tells you the front seven was being handled quite mightily, okay? Like, seriously, okay? So the second tackler was a corner in Kenny Moore. He had 7 tackles. So that lets you know we were breaking the line of scrimmage, and which allowed Derrick Henry to do his thing, 28 carries, 113 yards. And the fact that Derrick Henry was out there catching like Jerry Rice. I saw him boom. I said, is that Derrick Henry? It was times he was lined up at wide receiver. He was the widest guy on the side of the field. It's like, who is that big receiver? Oh, that's Derrick Henry? What? So I really like the play of our offensive line. Of course, Derrick Henry did his thing. Ryan Tannehill did a really good job as well, too, especially on breakdown plays. Ryan Tannehill played with heart. He had one bad interception. The other one was on Chester Rogers. So you'll see 2 picks on the scoreboard, but in actuality, he really just had one. And Ryan Tannehill, made the plays. He had 3 touchdowns, folks. He had 3 touchdowns. So I give the play calling. I think play calling was pretty decent as well, too. I think we adapted very well to the Colts defense, and Todd Downing, he did a very good job. I've heard some people try to criticize him a bit, man, but I don't see it. 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns from your quarterback. Your running backs got some touchdowns. And then, Jeremy McNichols with a touchdown. Nick Westbrook with a touchdown. I mean, that lets you know it's a diversified offense. So great job to the offensive line and to the overall offense. On defense, I really like the energy that the defensive line had in this game. Yes, K. Fool was out there balling at corner. He didn't let him and Janoris Jenkins both played a good game. Michael Pittman didn't do really anything. Michael Pittman had 6 catches and 68 yards, no touchdown. Yep. So they kept him cool because that's who he wants to throw it to. Colt fans might say, well, yeah, you would say that because Carson Wentz is hurt. Well, if he was that hurt, you had 3 other quarterbacks you should have played. So you can't make that excuse, right? That lets me know that you're
facts, no paper.
Exactly. That tells me you don't trust your backups if you're going to let a 2 sprained ankle quarterback out there on the field. Yes, he was a hobbling out there. Yes, but hey, you got to play him on the field, and that's what happened. So Adini, please forgive me for messing up his name. He looked like James Harrison out there. He looked like Dwight Freeney out there. Okay, he was a problem. He had a sack and a half this game, and even against Seattle, he did great. So I really like what I'm seeing out of the defensive line so far this season, man. So, right now we're 15th in the league in defense. So we're making improvements because we at the beginning, the first game, we were like 29. Now we're at 15. So we are improving. That's what we like to see.
Right. Ole, I'm gonna call him Ole, 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 Ole.
Ole. Yes, sir.
So I also want to add one more point, man.
Yes.
Third down efficiency on defense. 3 of 12, bro.
Man,
3 of 12 from the Colts. That's 3 of 12, okay? 3 of 12. 3 of 12. Let that sink in, people. Yeah, remember, we couldn't get out the field on third down last year.
Not at all. Even if we played a junior pro team, bro, we couldn't stop nobody on third down. We couldn't stop on third round. So third down efficiency was trash. So shout out to the defense in the time of possession. The Titans won the time of possession, 34 minutes to the Colts 25 minutes. So when the Titans have the time of possession, bro, they're gonna win the game. They're gonna win, bro. That's right. So hey, great points, man. Great points. So Hawk, let me ask you this: from this game, who would be your player or players of the game? For me, man, it's the king. It's Derrick Henry, man. It's Derrick Henry. The offense, when you looked at it at one point in time, Nick Westbrook and Racey McMath were your receivers. Who? Right? Who? So it's like, okay, right now, even Jeff Swaim is at tight end, right? Now, Michael Pruitt, hey, he's been doing his thing out there, right? But these are guys, no one is scared of these guys, right? They're just right now, they're unproven guys. Right. They're just guys right now, but they're making plays when they're called. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, that's Derrick Henry. So it's like, okay, we got to stack the box. We're not worried about these guys. We're going to go head up and try to tackle them. Again, that's why your safety had 11 tackles. But Derrick Henry didn't allow that to bother him. Again, 113 yards rushing on 28 carries, and he had 3 catches as well this game. He had 31 yards catching as well, too. So, again, this is something where Derrick Henry has added to his game in catching the football. They ran Derrick a lot. It seemed like he had more than 28 carries, especially in the first half. It's like, man, they are running Derrick Henry left and right. But he was able to maintain. He didn't score any touchdowns. That was weird. It just
only the 2-point conversion.
On the 2-point conversion. That is right, Jacques. That's right. He did have a 2-point conversion. But Derrick Henry controlled the game. It was the time of position was because of the offensive line and Derrick Henry. So on offense, I'm absolutely giving it to Derrick Henry. For me, on defense, no one had a whole lot of tackles, but I got to give it to Adini. This guy here, a sack and a half. He's had 2.5 sacks for the season. He was a problem out there. You could tell he was smelling blood. He should have had another sack that they called back. So if you don't know who he is, he wears number 92. He used to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. This guy's making plays, okay? And to a point where even Bud Dupree, they even set Bud Dupree down, and just like Julio Jones gave them the Kawhi Leonard load management. We're just going to sit you down and just go from there and let him do his thing. And if he keeps playing like that, that's going to make everyone else play better too, man. Because if they try to account for him, then Jeffrey Simmons should act the clown. And Jeffrey Simmons had a really good game too, especially stopping the run in the second half. Jonathan Taylor started to get loose a little bit early, and then they kind of slowed him down, towards the second half. And, Nyheim Hines has always been a problem too, catching the ball. But I think overall our defense held steady, for the entire game. Hell, they only scored 16 points. We could have beat them worse, y'all. We had 3 turnovers. And we won the game. 3. That never happens. It's the first time for the Titans since 2007. The first time where we had 3 turnovers and the other team had 0 that we won the game. That never, ever happens. So great job to the King. Great job to Ola. Great job to both of those guys, man. What about for you, Jacques?
So for me, we know the King did his thing. But I'm going to switch it up, man. I'm actually on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to go with 2 people. I'm going to go with Tannehill. And I know Tannehill threw the interception. I get that. But I feel like it was Derrick Henry and Tannehill's show where they wanted to win this game. Like, they wanted this game. And Tannehill got to the point where he lost his 2 stud receivers. Like, literally, they were done. And he had to figure it out. He had to figure out, okay, how am I going to do it with this particular group? The thing about this particular group of receivers, this is the group that he worked with in training camp.
Talk to him, Jacques.
This is the group that he worked with. And we know he didn't get no snaps in preseason, but this is the group. This is his group. Chester Rogers, NWI, who has Batson and Racey McMath. So he was comfortable with these guys. He knows their tendencies. He knows, okay, hey, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to figure out how to win. Now, the problem is he was throwing interceptions in training camp too. We'll talk about that in a minute. But after he threw that interception, the one that was actually his fault, And then he threw the second one. Well, the second one is his fault because as Vrabel said, it bounced off his shoulder pads. He kind of catch it with his shoulder pads. That's what he said.
Right.
But the tenacity and the will to win and the smartest play of the game of him diving to stay in bounds.
Facts.
That was the smartest play of the game. They kept the time moving. They killed the clock. Let me say this about the Titans. If you're an opposing team and you're in the fourth quarter and there is, hell, I even say 10 minutes. If it's 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, just expect the Titans to slow it down to the point where they're going to chew probably 7 to 8 minutes off that clock, okay? That's what the Titans did. They slowed it down. They methodically chewed it up because when you get the ball back, you're going to probably only have about 2 minutes to play with. Right. So salute to Tannehill. Another person I want to give a shout out to on the offensive side of the ball is NWI, okay? We needed somebody to step up in a situation to where we knew AJ went down. Julio was out there, but hey, he's Julio. Everybody's going to double team him. So we need that slot receiver to step up, right? Chester Rogers did it a little bit. Batson, man. But for some reason, NWI was out there. I want to eat. This is second weekend of, well, yes, no, not in a row, but this is his second time getting in the game, especially at home, making big plays in big situations. He scored his first touchdown. Yes, he fumbled the ball, but I feel like that was an effort fumble where he was trying to get extra yards. He's just going to get that comes with time. That comes with experience. That comes when you got the ball and you fight for possession. Just get down, son. Take the L right there. You got your yards. Just take the L. But I like what I'm seeing from this young man, and I want to see him. I want to see him win, and I want to see him emerge, right? Because this is what Reynolds was supposed to be. Where's Reynolds been? He's a healthy scratch, right? He's hurt. Remember what I told you in the season, bro? He fighting for a spot too, right?
Yep.
So shout out to them two on offense. On defense, man, you said it, man. Ole came in, and this is his. I seen it in the preseason. Let me say, this is why I like watching the preseason because I want to see what we got, right? And you get to see those second tier guys play and see what they have. And when I seen the Ole in the preseason, I'm like, this kid is crazy. He has high energy. What's wrong with this young man? I like his energy. His energy's dope. But for him to come in and do what he did, like you said, half a sack, getting pressure on the outside. I heard somebody say, well, he's just a pure pass rusher. I'm fine with that. That's the only thing you really need him to be is a pure pass rusher because you got Landry, you got Bud to do that, you got Roberson to do that. We need a pure pass rusher, and then we have a pure pass rusher on Ole. And he even said his role was to come in here and be a special teams player, right? Well, he's making a role for himself where he's becoming that guy, and he's going to become that guy. I say this, if he gets about 7 or 8 sacks, Ole going to get him a nice contract.
Absolutely.
He's only 20. I want to say he's 25. He's young. I want to either 24 or 25, but the kid is young. So he has plenty of career time to where we can develop him and he can become great. So he's starting to be one of my favorites of this free agency pickup, dog. Yeah. So I like what I'm seeing. And then another person I got to salute is Christian, man. CF out there killing it, dog. Yeah. KF is out there killing it, bro. Like he thank you guys. Thank you, Titans. This young man is starting to develop in something amazing. That one pass breakup he had on Michael Pittman was crucial too, right? Yep. Because Pittman has to get going.
Yep.
And when he finishes the play, that's one thing I like about Christian Fulton. He finishes the play. So those are my players. Those are my players of the game, man.
He does finish plays, man. That's what I like a lot about Christian Fulton. I think like I'll see I think he's like 4 for 12 when they go towards him in his direction. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep, he's 4 for 12.
4 for 12, bro. That's like may not want to throw it over there. You know, I think 26 got it on lock over there, man.
Yep.
You know,
he just needs interceptions at this point.
That's right. That's the
only thing he needs is INTs, man.
That's right, man. That's right. So, Jacques, so to add to what you're saying, man, so is there anything that you can take from this game and build upon for our next game going, for the Jets and just moving forward?
Yes. So I would give 2 or 3 things. One thing what we building on is we know we can get to the quarterback, but I think we're -3 in the takeaway department. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've had a takeaway this season yet.
I don't think so either.
And we excelled at that last year. It's like it flipped. Last year we couldn't get to the
bro.
We couldn't get to the quarterback, but our takeaway differential was amazing. Like we were picking balls off like that.
That's right.
And I think teams are more willing to throw on us, but I think and it might be a reason for that. It's probably because teams they're throwing on us, but they're not throwing. It's weird, man. So you have an opportunity in this next game to get interceptions. Zach Wilson, man, he's trending into the way of Jameis Winston and Peyton Manning, okay?
Exactly.
So the opportunity will be there, okay? The second, man, is efficiency with Henry, okay? King Henry. This next 2 games, even this next game, you have an opportunity where Henry can get his yards probably in the first half. Right. And no knock to the Jets or nothing. But once he hits that 125, 130, you might want to sit him, man. Sit him. Let's preserve the king. Yep. Put him on ice like you did Bud and Julio because you want to sit him down. To me, 38 carries. Was it 38 carries last
38, week? The first game, yeah, he had, I think 38 carries, something crazy against the Seahawks. Yes.
And then what?
And catches too, like 5 catches.
And yesterday was 20.
He had 28 carries.
28.
And 3 catches.
Okay. I'm okay with the 28 carries, but I'm still not comfortable with it because we need to preserve him, guys. Yep. I know King want to, and I know how he thinks. Man, I got to get out there. I got to get like, calm down, King. Just go sit down, bro. Drink you some juice. Go ask Marshall Lion Lynch for some Skittles. All right, or some sunflower seeds.
Yep.
Go chill, bro. Put your headset in, listen to some music. Bang out with your boys on the sideline. Put Sergeant McNichols. Y'all get in there and get some PT time, bro. You know what I mean? Preserve the king. Once he gets up to it, and I know they want to run him to the ground. It'll be nice to get him a $250. I get it. But let's preserve the king, bro. Don't sit your ass down, bro. Okay?
Yeah.
And another thing that I want to take away too is getting to the point where we started fast, yes. And I understand situationally what happened when Julio and everything like that. But I feel like early in the game, we got to make better decisions, right? Because, I mean, some of those things, I'm like, And what I mean by decisions is it got a little rocky there in the beginning with the interception and everything like that, running Henry. And I know we try to get him going early. Henry's a second half guy. Let's go out there and fly. No huddle. Let's see some more no huddle. Let's get this offense moving a lot more quicker than what we've been doing. And then you can slow it down in the second half. So I think you could take that, what I've just said, and you can transition that to the next 2 games because the next 2 opponents, let's pump the brakes because we did this with Cincinnati last year. And like we got Joe Burrow, but you still got to be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
Because you don't want to get caught slipping with your pants down, no pun intended.
Right.
With the Jets and the Jags. So that's me. What about you, Hawk?
So A.J. Brown is hurt. He's day to day or week to week, as I heard today on the radio from Adam Schefter. Okay. And saw the play he was running. He started to, you can tell he started walking like, why is he not turning around for the ball? Oh, he pulled a hamstring. So you have A.J. Brown. You got Darrington Evans, Bud Dupree, Jayon Brown in many ways. Taylor Lewan, his nick of injuries. Julio Jones, his injuries. Yeah. So we have a lot of nagging injuries right now. And we won this football game, okay? And I think what you can build upon this is understanding that in some games right now, if you can make it happen, if you need to do load management, do that, okay? Do that. And I know that's maybe not what you might hear from an NFL team because that's more NBA because there's 82 games in a season. But one football game is probably equal to 12 NBA games physically, okay? So I think right now, I understand why we're resting Dupree and Julio Jones, especially if you can win the game. And Jacques, just like you said, if we're beating the Jets in the third quarter handily, rest Derrick Henry. Rest him. Mm-hmm. Literally with A.J. Brown, I have concerns because he's been hurt his entire career. He hasn't, even in practice, in preseason, he doesn't practice play because he's nursing something or whatever. Something needs to happen there as far as, getting him healthy. But, if he needs to be out this game, if we can make it happen, let's make it happen. I'm not sleeping on the Jets because the Jets are an NFL team. They get paid just like the Titans do, right? They make their money. They got players too. So I think if anything right now, what you can build upon is to say, hey, though we didn't play great against the Colts, we still beat the Colts with arrested Julio, Bud Dupree. It worked. It worked. Now put probably more workload on Derrick Henry and other players, but and even Ola and Jeffrey Simmons and those guys. But it worked. So monitor that, build on that, because that might be a strategy we need to use for the rest of the season as well. When I look at it too, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of our special teams as well too. So I think we can keep building on that. You know, Randy Bullock. Did he miss a field? No, he didn't. Randy Bullock kicked very well in the game. Looking at the punt game with Brett Kern, Chester Rogers returning kicks, Jeremy McNichols, and McNichols probably won't score a touchdown returning kicks, but he played it safe and things like that. But we're not making, though we had 3 turnovers, we're not making mistakes on special teams, and I think you can build upon that for the next game and the game after that as well too. It's just by being efficient, getting as many yards as you can. And hey, if Chester Rogers can break through, go for it. But there's certain facets of the team right now that has been consistent. Special teams, though we struggle because we had kicker issues, we didn't this game. We played pretty well overall. So great job to special teams as well too. Yep.
Right. Now, great points, Hawk. So let me ask you this: we know we gave positives and expectations for the next couple of games. Any disappointments that you see from this game that we need to clean up going forward?
Yes.
Talk to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying the Indianapolis Colts are a trash football team, because they're not. They have talent.
They're not. You're right.
But they're not a good football team right now, because they are dealing with injuries at quarterback. Quarterback is a major issue for them for right now, okay? I think their offensive line is not as good as it has been as well, too. They've had struggles there, too. And they've lost a few free agents on defense. The defense, they cause turnovers. I give Indianapolis that. They do. But I do think, though we won the football game with 3 turnovers, that lets you know how much better of a football team we are, right? I still felt the game was just too close.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to win a Super Bowl. And Indianapolis, I give them credit on this, is that the games they've played so far, they've played some tough teams so far this season. Because it's 7 teams in the playoffs, the Colts maybe can make the playoffs because you got Houston and Jacksonville in your division, okay? Those should be wins for the Colts. They're better than those teams. But I think that Tennessee always fights. They never give up. They never do. But Tennessee at times lacks killer instinct. Okay, Stomp them while they're down. Carson Wentz looked like me out there playing quarterback.
X no paper.
Yes. So, they didn't have their quarterback. Jonathan Taylor had a decent game early. We stopped their receiving core and things. But again, I think because of Carson Wentz, I think that's another part of it too. If you have a team when they're down, stomp them. Okay, beat them. And we want to play the Clevelands, the Oakland Raiders, even. Kansas City. I know they've been losing of late. But their teams in the AFC, the Chargers, Cincinnati, they're teams in the AFC that will be ready for the Titans. And I would have questions right now as far as that killer instinct, all right? You should beat the Colts handily. And we didn't. It was close. So what about you, Jock?
So for me, and that's hell of points, man. Great points. The turnovers. The turnovers is a concerning thing that we have to clean up, dog. Yeah. This is the 3rd week in a row that we've had almost, I want to say multiple turnovers, maybe.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think it has been multiple turnovers. Like you said, statistically, they were supposed to lose this game, statistically. But when I think of the Titans, I throw out the stat book, because in any stat that they say that can't be done, it happens with the Titans. Last year, remember, we had the worst down. The defense was the worst 3rd down defense ever, and we still made the playoffs. Statistically, that's not supposed to happen. So I just don't. I throw the book out with them. I'm like, I don't even care about what y'all say stat-wise. The Titans are going to do something crazy, and this is crazy. Yeah. But we need to clean that up, bro. You can't keep winning games by turning the ball over on several things and several times a game, and you can't keep winning. You can't keep winning like that. Like you said, we a dog team, but, I mean, you get in a hole and you got 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 turnovers, bro. You ain't It's not going to work like that. So we have to clean that up.
That's
so drop balls too.
Facts, no paper, Jacques.
Receivers have been dropping balls, and these are key catches that can get you a first down or get you that 2nd and 3 or whatever. I mean, these are literally concentrated drops, and I don't understand. Maybe the receivers need to sit maybe after practice or even after the game. Y'all need to drive to the Sportsplex in Metro Center, and y'all need to go ahead on the jug machine. And y'all need to be out there catching 50 balls a piece, okay? And y'all need in y'all back of y'all mind, y'all have to say we'll never miss or never catch it. We'll always catch everything that comes to us, and we'll never drop nothing else. If it's a baby, I'm catching it. If it's my phone, I'm catching it. If it's a light, I'm catching it. If it's you, I'm catching. That's how you have to have that mentality. And great point what you said, Hawk, about killer instinct. This team, and I'm going to say this, offensively, we don't have it. If I look at every other offense in the league, they have that killer instinct. And I think this is where a lot of people complain about Tannehill about, because I've been seeing a lot of complaints about Tannehill. Tannehill, don't do this. Tannehill has that killer instinct, but it's just, he has to understand this is your offense. And if you don't like what play call, Todd Downing just called, man, this is your team, bro. You ought to buy out of that and go from there. Something that I did and I kept seeing this whole game was the Colts had one single high safety, okay? Now, as Hawk said, we were talking offline, when you're at the games, it's different when you watching it at home. You can analyze better when you're at home. You can see the all 22. You can see everything. It depends on where you're sitting at in the stadium, where you see, okay, hey, you up here, you see this, you see that. Hawk had a aerial view. I had a ground view, okay?
Yep.
And every time I'm looking, and I'm like, the guy behind me, everybody sits around us are football people, so we understand football. All I kept hearing, and shout out to my guy, man. If you watch the show, bro, you are dope. My guy, it's one safety. One single high safety. I turn around, I look, I said, damn, it is one single high safety. If that was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers,
Omaha.
Right. He giving that signal to AJ or Julio, hell, even Nick, go. Yeah, right. Hut, woo, he gone. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's where the killer instinct has to come in, bro, because these next two games, man, you breezing in the wind. And like I said, don't underestimate them because they're still an NFL team. They might not be a good NFL team, but they're still an NFL team.
That's right.
But that next stretch,
better be ready. They better be ready. They better be.
Dog.
Yep.
AJ being out scares me, dog.
Yep.
They put Julio on ice, scares me, dog. So we're gonna have to get super creative. But that's some things, man, that I find disappointing that we need to clean up ASAP. And we need to figure out ASAP what we're gonna do. So that's for me, man.
Gotcha, brother. Gotcha. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all, that ends the show, y'all. Thank you as well for watching the show. We do play the New York Jets. I actually will be at the game. I will be in New York. Exactly, man. Watching the Titans play the Jets, man. So we're ready to go see that game and everything at MetLife Stadium. I think that's still Met. No, I think Shea Stadium now. I think something.
You sure it's not MetLife?
Maybe it's MetLife still. I'm not sure. But either way, I'll be up there in New York. So so for those that enjoy watching our show, you can also follow us on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can also check us out on Twitter. Twitter has a lot of activity. You can check us there at Titans Weekly 24/7 as well. And you can contact us at Tennessee Titans Weekly at gmail.com as well. We have merchandise. Again, you can go to Teespring, TEspring.com. Search Tennessee Titans Weekly for your merchandise. So we got that as well.
Also, fun fact, I was actually on TV. Okay?
Yep.
So, as Hawk said, follow us on Instagram to go and see if you can find where Jock is in the crowd.
That's right.
Ironically, I was just on YouTube looking at the highlights of the game, and I said, oh, shoot, that's me. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is crazy. So, yeah, guys, follow us on Instagram to go see that footage and see if you can find me and put it in the comment section on Instagram if you spotted me. Just say something, hashtag we found you or whatever. So, like I say every show, man, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you're just a watcher, come on, subscribe and come on to the Weekly family, man. We don't bite. And definitely, when you subscribe, hit that notification bell by the subscribe button, right? It'll let you know when we go live or post any content. So just remember that. And importantly, share the show. To your auntie, your cousin, your uncle, any new Titans fans. I will say there's some new Titans fans out there. So I seen a bunch of new Titans fans at the game. If you want Titans content, come subscribe to the channel, man. So definitely tighten up. Let's get to them Jets.
Tighten up. And check us out on Apple. Check us out on Spotify. We have a podcast on there as well, too. We got content out there, folks. Check it out. We're on different shows as well. Check us out. We're out there. So folks, to you and yours, as we always say, if we're going to New York, we're trying to get this W. Facts.
No paper.
Ah.